Hi, Larry Watson here. And we're talking about goals, your goals, what you want to accomplish in 2015. This is the year. Here it is. You've been working on some goals over the past few years or maybe last year, and things just aren't happening for you. And I know how that is. There's some of my goals that I haven't completed, but I know the tools, and we're going to go over some of that here today on what actually makes it possible to succeed at the goals that mean something to you, that make a difference in your life. First, I want to talk a little bit about where I've come from. How did I achieve the goals that I have at this point? There was a few years ago that I found myself in an office. I had a business making pottery for 20 years. And I found myself in a doctor's office. And the doctor was telling me, trying to explain how my heart had been affected by the chemotherapy that I had taken a few years before that. And he was telling me about the technical terms, what this is, what that is, and that's all fine. But I was trying to get an idea how this was going to affect my life. What did I have to look forward to? And I said, so what, I might live another 20 years? Give me some kind of idea of what my possibilities are. And his answer was, well, you put me in a difficult position. So I was trying to get a better idea. Is this more imminent than that? What's going on here? Tell me what's going on. And I said, so maybe I don't live another year? And he said, well, they're always coming up with new drugs. And besides, there's always the option of a heart transplant. Well, this wasn't really a thought that I was really comfortable with. It was a bit of a shock, even now, as I think about it. And yet, one thing that came to my mind was that this wasn't going to work for me. This doctor wasn't going to work for me. And I needed a doctor with hope. So I fired him. And I got another doctor, one that was ambitious and everything. He was very optimistic and he was hopeful. And after he did what he said, I know I can improve this for you. And after he did everything that he knew how to do it, he said, I'm sorry, and nothing worked. That's it. That's all I can do. So I said to him, well, now we're going to do it my way. Because I had a goal. I had a goal that was, for one, to prove the doctors wrong. I'm always about that. Two is, I wanted a life. I really wanted a life. Now, I might not be able to make pottery anymore, and that's really what happened. Physically, I wasn't able to keep up that kind of pace. And I found this. I found coaching. I found my zone of genius. I found the thing that really lights me up, that sets me on fire, the thing that makes a difference in the world. And that's what I want for you, to understand that. And then to set out the goals, to understand that the goals happen not just in the physical realm, like I was talking about in the last video, about how we plan things out, but it's also about our mindset. What is your mindset about your goals? And this is where the law of attraction comes in. So Henry David Thoreau has this great quote, and here it is. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, one passes an invisible boundary. All sorts of things begin to occur that never otherwise would have occurred. One meets with success unexpected in common times. Now this really sums up the law of attraction. If one advances confidently, if one says, this is where I'm going, this is what I want to accomplish. Now, we talked in the first video about the why that is behind what it is we want to do. Because if we don't know the full why, the thing that will actually drive us to accomplish what we want, it's not going to happen. If one advances confidently, so we need to know the why so we feel confident. We need to know what is going to drive us. If one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams. Now, you notice that says direction. Now, imagine that you're going to the moon. Now, by the way, those spaceships are not perfect. Yes, they have computers, but they're constantly adjusting. So do the airplanes that fly you from city to city. They're constantly adjusting. They don't have one set direction. They have to keep adjusting. They're in the direction, and they keep moving to adjust to get to their dreams, in the direction of his dreams, and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined. Now, you can endeavor to live a life that you haven't imagined. What is that? It's pretty nebulous. It's, again, like I was talking about, having other people, having goals that really don't have specifics to them. We need to have the life we have imagined. We need to imagine it. So what does imagine mean? It really means to put this image in our brains. It's, see, our brains are what is the projector. See, when we go to a movie and there's a problem with this, with the picture that we're seeing, we don't go up to the screen. We don't, in our lives, we can't go and say, well, this is the problem over here. What is going on here? What is going on in the projector of our life? If we endeavor to live the life which we have imagined, we have to imagine it. We have to project what it is that we want. If we do that, one passes an invisible boundary. An invisible boundary. It's where we get to, it's the quantum leap. It is the underlying fourth dimension that the artists of the turn of the century had talked about in the 1910s and 1920s. They talked about the fourth dimension. And even Einstein argued against the quantum theory. Quantum, the way things show up. See, any particle in a room can be in any part of the room until it is observed. So when we imagine something, we are observing the truth of what we want. We are observing it so the particles begin to line up. I know that sounds crazy. It is what happens. Then the next sentence of Thoreau is, all sorts of things begin to occur that never otherwise would have occurred. This is the miracle of the law of attraction. By holding in our minds, in our hearts, in our souls, what it is we want, the goal that we want, amazing things can happen. One woman who took this on as the way she was going to live her life for one goal. She had a goal of fitting into a dress. She said she had lost all this weight, but there was still that 25 pounds that was hanging on, and she tried all the diets and the exercise, and she then put her imagination to work. She imagined being in this dress that she had bought before she had gained that weight. And within 90 days, she lost that weight. She was in that dress. By imagining, by putting it into our minds, all sorts of things begin to occur that never otherwise would have occurred. And I'll tell you another story along those lines. Then the last sentence is, one meets with success unexpected in common hours. Unexpected in common hours. In other words, in our regular daily life, without this process of imagining and stepping in the direction confidently in the direction of our dreams, these things wouldn't happen. There's another quote, I can't remember who it is, about providence steps in when we set our minds to something. Providence steps in and starts bringing things to us. So Louise Hay is a international well-known person who has made amazing things possible. Her first book was You Can Heal Yourself. And after that, she, over the years, has built this essentially in an empire. And somebody said, well, how did that happen? How did you create this plan to have this empire at the end of all these years. Well, how did you have the foresight? And she said, I didn't. I said, I want to make a difference in the world. And this is how I want to make a difference. And the different steps that she needed to take just showed up in front of her. And she said she knew that in order for her success to be there, she had to step into each of those steps. Step into what the universe was providing to her to create her success. She didn't have to create it. It just kept showing up. And she stepped into it full-heartedly, stepping confidently in the direction of her dreams. When I was in a law of attraction course, one of the assignments was to imagine having the car of your dreams. Now, for me, this was kind of hard. I was kind of a car geek in high school. And so I was imagining, a Jaguar, and then I was imagining myself in a BMW and a Ferrari, a Maserati. I was imagining myself in these cars, but I couldn't pick one. I was having trouble with that. But then I thought, well, even if I had this car, somebody had given me this car. Just imagine that somebody had just given me this car. Then I started thinking, well, I still have to pay insurance. How much is insurance on a car like that? And what about maintenance? What about if I had a wreck? I mean, that would be tragic. And then this thought occurred to me. What would be cool is if somebody just handed me the keys to one of my dream cars for a week. Just, 7 days. And I could drive all over the country and just have a blast. Yeah, so that's a nice dream. But another part of the exercise was to imagine where you'd like to go in the world. Where would you like to be? And I imagined being in Europe again. I wanted to go to Europe again. I'd been there, and so I started thinking about how I'd get there. Well, that was one of the challenges, is thinking about how. So, would I go on another tour where you pay a set amount and go, well, I didn't have quite the funds at that time. And then another option was to go on a cultural exchange. Well, there were no sister cities at that time going to other countries besides the one that I had been on. So that wasn't going to work. So what's going to happen? And I thought, what would be cool is if a friend called me and said, hey, I'm going to Europe for almost nothing. You want to go with me? Crazy idea, right? It just kind of made me laugh. But I had this nice, comfortable feeling about it. I let it go because I didn't think it was possible. And then 2 months later, a friend calls and says, my brother is being sent to Europe on business, and he's got a 2-bedroom apartment and a rental car that's free. And would you like to go with us? Airfare is only $400 round trip. There it is. I just set my mind, I allowed my mind to imagine. I didn't even have to do any work. It just shows up. And that's the way the law of attraction can work. Well, we get to Europe. Now, we went to a country I normally wouldn't have chosen. It's just not one that I would have chosen. But I was enjoying it, the idea, and the fact that we were going to be going all over this country. And we get there, and the brother said, hey, Larry, would you like to be the driver? I can only sign one person. And I said, sure, why not? I can be the chauffeur and kind of show my gratitude for being on this trip. And he said, well, I did upgrade the car because I wanted you to have GPS. And as we get to the car and he presses the button for the trunk lid to open up, there it is right across the trunk. It says Jaguar. And the country we're in is Germany, where the Autobahn has no speed limit. I got a week driving the car of my dreams all over the country at over 100 miles an hour. That's the way the law of attraction can work. We also have the option of stepping confidently in the direction of our dreams. as Thoreau says. So we need to have the reasons in place. We need to understand the why, and we understand the law of attraction. And another way to look at the law of attraction is that the spirit is the substance of all things, and it rearranges itself according to thoughts held in mind. Things do happen with the law of attraction. So we want to really be able to set our minds to things, to the dreams of what we really want. And the other aspect of that is it's very practical, because once we do that, we start doing the steps. We start taking the steps. We start the steps start showing up. We start doing the milestones when we keep that dream in our minds. Many of you have done vision boards and have created vision of what you want to have and achieve. And a story of someone who did that and put a picture of a hotel on the beach in Hawaii. And 3 years later, she found herself in that very hotel at a conference. That very one. What we imagine can and does happen. Not every time. Again, we talked about the why not that we have to let go of. Why can this not happen? And that's one of the reasons the Jaguar and the Europe trip happened, is because I didn't think about why not. I thought of why not about why I couldn't have the car of my dreams, or why I couldn't go on the trip the way I had in the past. But when I thought and just said, wow, that's a crazy idea, but it sure feels good, and then I let it go, I didn't think about why not. We have to let go of the why not in order to get the dream to actually manifest in our lives. So what I'm offering today is a course about achieving your goals. It's an 8-week course that we're going to journey on. We're going to step confidently in the direction of your dreams. This is how you can do this right now. This is the new year. This is the time to do it. An 8-week course that includes the 5 tools to achieving your goals, the 3 rules for magic, and we'll get really clear about the obstacle that can hold you back and be able to dissolve that obstacle. We'll be doing this over 8 weeks. That means 8 live group coaching sessions. You'll be on the phone with me. This is not a recording. You'll be on the phone with me. The group coaching sessions allow us to work together, collaborate, and co-create your dreams. You'll also have 2 private live coaching sessions with me. One in the beginning, one at the end. Just you and I, just us, to really look at what you're working on and how you are going to succeed in achieving that goal. We'll also be looking at the exercises. Each week you'll be getting exercises and assessments that will get your mind in the process of stepping in that direction. It'll allow you to actually create the strategies. It'll allow you to have the mindset. It'll allow you to dissolve those obstacles. So these exercises are the work that you can do while in between sessions. In each call that we do, the group sessions will be recorded, but they'll only be available for 2 days. So that's for the people who miss it. You don't want to miss the call, because that synergy is really key to this program. This is what I know works. I can't guarantee your results. I'm going to tell you that right now. I can guarantee the process. If you're not on the call, I don't know what's going to happen for you. So the goals that you want to achieve are what's important here. Not my goals. It's not what I want. It's what you want. You see, I've been through a program like this, and that's how my life changed. How my life started to I got on fire. I found my zone of genius. I was so excited about this, what I'm doing now, and how I relate to people, and how I am manifesting in the world today. This is what I love to do. And the reason is I love to see people grow and step into their greatness, their potential, their zone of genius. I want people to get on fire about what they want to accomplish, their goals, your goals. That's what I do. Maybe you'd like to come along. If not, that's okay. I don't pretend that this is for everybody. I know better. I'm not the right person for everybody, and this program isn't for everybody. It's for those who really want to achieve their goals, and that's scary. Okay, there's some of you that are just about off of this call because you're scared. You're scared of stepping into your dreams. And that's common. That's the way I was. I still am. It still amazes me as I keep stepping into this dream, into this amazing life that I'm creating, that I'm co-creating. It's scary. And courage isn't about getting rid of fear. It's about stepping forward even though we're afraid. Stepping through fear. It takes a leap of faith. That's a phrase that really comes to mind here. We need to leap forward into what we know will work. We have to trust our intuition and say yes instead of no. Our brains are automatically designed to say no as a surviving process. To say, oh, that's going to be too scary. But we don't know what's going to happen with that. We don't know what success is like. And there are changes that happen when you're successful. It is scary. And how much longer are you going to wait? So, see the link on this email to sign up or check out more of the information. Either way, just go to the link and see what's there. And I'd love to see you in this group coaching program. The one magic goal. One magic goal. That's the idea. Because once you achieve one magic goal, you can do it with any goal that you want. We just focus on one for now, for this 8 weeks. And then the system is part of you. And you can keep going to any goal you want, to your dreams, confidently stepping the direction of your dreams. So, thank you so much, and we'll see you later. This is Larry Watson, Transformation Coach, Inspired Results.